Hello everybody and welcome to the July update here at Reesby Estates and on the farm. So July, well, what a month. We finished off with the June update saying that I would have thought we would have been in some of our crops, mainly the rape and the winter barley. However, I can now confirm that we have been in our oilseed rape, we have been in our winter barley. However, we have also been in our marrowfat peas, we have also been in our spring barley, we have been in our spring oats, and we have been in our winter wheat. So we've been in every single crop in July apart from our spring beans, which are about another week off being ready. We have also completed our oilseed rape, we have completed our winter barley, we have completed our marrowfat peas, and we have completed our spring oats. Absolutely crazy to be that far through harvest already as we stand here on the actual 1st of August. We would normally be finished our winter barley and just about finished our oilseed rape by now. But the weather has really thrown us some surprises this year. So talking of the weather, we have actually had a high of 30.9 back on the 11th of July. We've had a low of 6.7 on the 3rd of July. The average temperature has been 18 degrees. And then the other thing to mention is rainfall. So rainfall has really hurt us this year. We've had a lack of rainfall. We've practically been in a drought. But lo and behold, that broke as soon as the combine left the sheds. So we have ended up with 63.2 millimetres of rain in July. That is a quarter of the rainfall, what we had from beginning of January to the end of June. We've had a quarter of that amount within 1 month. So yeah, exactly when we didn't want it. It's no use for us coming at that point. So anyway, so yes, in this video you're going to see lots of snippets because it's been quite a hectic month getting on and getting around all of these crops. So yes, let's get into it and I hope you enjoy. So it's the 3rd of July and we are about to go and start our harvest in our barley. So this will be the earliest ever start here, certainly in my time here, of our barley harvest. So Zach is just about to leave the yard now and we will go and take a look what we've got. So we're in the field, we've just got going. Zach's on his first time round. Really exciting times because all the hard work that these lads have put in throughout the year, now is the time when we get to realise whether that's all paid off, whether we're going to have the yields with us, how much damage the weather might have done to us. A lot hinging on this, so it's always quite exciting to first get going and get into the first crops, which gives you a very good indication of how the rest of the season's going to run. So like I say, Zach's on his first time round, so let's go and catch up.
So, it's the start of harvest 2025. We're in the winter barley. So Peter, whereabouts would you like the moisture to be?
We're hoping we're going to be below 15% moisture. A quick bite test tells me it's probably about 13.1.
Wow Peter, excellent. Yeah, bang on, harvest is a go.
The 10th of July and Zach is just on his first time round in the rape after completing our winter barley. 17th of July, nearly said August, seems like we've been at this a long while now. Yeah, the good weather's broken. We are getting some showers. So at the moment, currently Zach's finishing off the last block of rape we've got. We gave up on it the other day because it was at 11% moisture. We've got a fairly good forecast ahead of us apparently. So we pulled out of it to let nature do its job. Then the forecast has dramatically changed, so he's had to go back in. He's running about 9.5 to 10 actually at the moment, so we are going to have to put it through our dryer, but the weather forecast is now horrendous for the Saturday, Sunday, Monday and into Tuesday, and if we get some bad weather over that rape, we run the risk of losing it all over the floor, and then that's all our year's work in them fields gone to waste. So he's busy trying to do that. One good thing about the rain though is I'm currently on the horse sprinter drill, putting in some summer cover crops into the rape stubble. You can see all the stubble behind me, so behind Zach, just to get some life back into these soils, get some roots going down into it, ahead of us then drilling into that in sort of the end of September, beginning of October. So I'd rather not have the rain, but if we're going to get some, I want these covers in before that rain so that they can start growing. And we've got little rhubarb sat down here, keeping an eye on everything. Like rhubarb, making sure everything's going to plan. We are now in the Marifat peas. We ideally wanted another day or two, but we've got horrendous weather forecast tomorrow, so we need to get these peas before the weather knocks them down onto the floor, or we lose quality through staining due to the wet weather. So again, we are constantly battling the weather. So it's the 18th of July and the rains have come at the wrong time. However, freed Zach off the combine, so he's now on the tractor doing a bit of flat lifting. This field's destined to come oilseed rape, so we just flat lift it to give the roots the best chance we can to get down. We're only running about 8-9 inches, not overly deep. Was winter barley, yours being baled again to give us the best chance, fight some slugs and get the rape going. So as harvesters came early, we are still undergoing some store preparations. Here is Richard from Fem Farm Pest Control, just fogging our final store. Now we choose to fog all of our stores rather than actually using a pesticide. The fog is a product of crushed seashells, not easy for me to say. So it is an inert product, no pesticide whatsoever, but it works by attacking the coating of any pests and insects, dries them out. We get on very, very well with this product. As you can see, the fog gets up and around all the rafters, so it gets in the hard to reach places. I can't recommend it as a service high enough. So this is Fen Farm Pest Control who undertake this operation for us in a very safe and professional manner. So you see from that, yeah, quite a hectic month, quite a lot happened. I think we need, well, if I got another sort of 10-14 days, so by the middle of August we will completely be finished harvest if the weather plays ball, and then we can set to getting the other crops back in the ground. So in the shed I'm stood in, I'll just show you what we've got in here. So here is our Marifat peas. Not quite as good quality this year as what we had last year. We got a little bit more bleaching on them. Not too bad for staining, but generally actually not too bad. Thought they might have been a lot worse. Yield has been down on them. We're probably a ton below what we would normally want to be seeing on our Marifat peas. And that's purely because of the weather. We had good crop stand, they look very, very well. In fact, our better crops have done worse than our poorer crops, and I think that's because they just were not as far developed when we hit them heat waves, and the heat waves have killed absolutely everything and stopped everything from finishing. The big yields come in the very final sort of few weeks of development. The healthier the crop, it just stays greener for that bit longer, and that's when you get your extra yield. What's happened this year is all the crops have been almost at the same point and they've just stopped. So we haven't got these extra yields coming from the healthier crops, unfortunately, but not a lot we can do about that. So that was the Marifat peas. Here's our winter barleys. So our winter barley in here, it's a hybrid 6-row AC animal feed barley. 8.6 tonne a hectare was our average on our barley. Again, a little bit disappointing, but not too bad. We'd hope for another tonne a hectare normally out of our barley as well. But I would take 8.6 this year, given what the weather has done. I'm quite happy with where we got to on our barley. And then we've got our oilseed rape. So here's the oilseed rape. This is the crop which has all the yellow flowers on it in sort of March, April time. This has been the crop of the year. So oilseed rape in the last sort of, it must be 6-7 years now, has been really getting hurt by a pest called flea beetle. Been getting very little plant stand coming into the spring, and then they eat into the stem and stop the nutrient flow. However, this year, because of the weather we had the previous year, don't think the larvae and the beetles were around as much, so we had less pressure. We're back to where we used to be on yields. We've hit 4.1 as an average, whereas the last few years we've been down sort of 3.2. So this crop has actually done well in the drought conditions, but rape gets an early root down, punches very deep very early. It's an earlier crop to finish, so actually more sunshine you get, the more it likes it if you've got good rooting. So this was able to finish well. So yeah, very, very happy with our oilseed rape. So yeah, that's just a quick look of what we've got in this shed. It's quite a nice shed because we are able to partition it off with these concrete blocks. We've got the pillar fans in here just to cool everything down, but we're able to just alter the storage as we need to get different crops within here. Yeah, so as normal, I hope you found that useful. Anybody like to know anything specific, do drop us an email in to the Revesby Estate office and we will include it in our videos. So just our week to go now on our beans, like I say. So I'm hoping in the next sort of 10-14 days we will be completed on harvest. So stay tuned, look out for the next update and see how far we got on. Okay, we will see you then.